Hi there. It's Maddie, me. Um, and going into this discussion post about where I should live in Grand Rapids, Michigan, I actually like this idea because while I live in Allendale now, me and four other people have already signed a lease for a house that is about 4 blocks south of Fulton Street. So we would be technically in the southwest area of Grand Rapids, and that's that part as well as the northwestern part is what I would consider moving to. I think that there's a good opportunity to be a part of the hustle and bustle of Grand Rapids, the downtown area, but also it feels far enough away that it's more, I guess, suburban-ish area that makes me feel a little more calm and a little safer. And that's just kind of why I chose that area and why I agreed to live there. We'd be living in a house in a college and older people dominant neighborhood. Pretty much the entire street that we will be living on is consists of houses that are being rented out by college students or will be rented out by college students. And so yeah, that's one of the areas that I would consider moving to, and I have considered moving to, and I'm excited to move to. Um, one of the areas where I would not consider moving to would be the southeast side. I think that's where he started in the video, and that's more of Studio Park and right by Van Andel. I feel like that's just too much of a downtown area for me. I love being downtown. And with all the hustle and bustle and all the nightlife and such, I love that. But I don't want to live there. I want to be able to walk there. I don't want to live there. That's just my opinion. But the four essentials that I need, or I was looking for when we were kind of figuring out where to live next year in downtown Grand Rapids, was again, walkable distance from the bars. I wanted to be able to um get from point A to point A to point B by walking, but I didn't want it to be like, okay, I just go downstairs or I just turn the corner and I'm there. I wanted to be able to have a little bit of distance, so we wouldn't be right in the traffic of all of that. Another thing that I was looking for was, again, more of like a suburbish area, like a house. I really wanted a house that I'd be able to have a backyard. I have outdoor furniture that I have here at Enclave that, like, we have a backyard, but it's not a great backyard. And it's just, I could go on and on about my complaints about that. But I really wanted an area where I had a nice, like, fenced in backyard. So if I wanted to get an animal, a dog, I'd be able to let the dog out. I wouldn't really have to worry about taking it to a specific area just to let it use the bathroom, or having to worry about taking it downstairs, like if I was in an apartment, and then walk to a grassy area. That was one of the essentials I really needed, was a big backyard. Another one, like I've said, was I wanted a house, not an apartment. Right now in Enclave, I live with three other people, and we are currently in a 4x4.5 townhome. So it feels like a house. We are more of a house structure in comparison to the other apartments that are off campus. But I really wanted my own singular unit house, and I think that's just something that made me feel like I really am stepping up and being more of an adult, even though I'm going to have four roommates instead of three. Whatever saves the big bucks. Another essential would be that I had the opportunity to be closer to work. And right now I'm currently working at MSA, Michigan Sports Academies. I am an interim director of youth and all the youth camps. And once I graduate here in April, I am going to be full-time director there of youths. And by moving into downtown Grand Rapids, I'm cutting my commute in half from 30 minutes to 15 minutes, which is absolutely fantastic. So I really wanted a house that would allow me to be closer to work. Yes. I feel like the biggest downside to moving Grand Rapids would be missing out on or missing a calmer lifestyle, I guess. I mean, here in Allendale, I don't feel like there's anything going on really ever at all. And I kind of like the calm and quiet down here. I originally started growing up in downtown Columbus, so like I was used to all of that. And then when we moved to Michigan, I lived in a very rural community. Like we had, I don't even know what our property was, but it was a lot of space. And in the middle of BFE, just straight up cornfields everywhere. And I was able to appreciate both the activity of the activity of a downtown area as well as the calmness of a rural community. And so I think I'm gonna kind of miss the quiet and a little bit more peacefulness, calmness here in Allendale, when I feel like Grand Rapids is definitely more of a hustle and bustle type area. They have a lot more opportunities, especially for a young person who is just coming out of college and starting their big girl jobs. I still feel like I'm gonna miss, and I feel like that's the biggest downside of living in Grand Rapids is you don't really, in my opinion, don't really get that calmness that you would in an area such as Allendale. If I were to pitch to a friend who was considering moving to Grand Rapids, a couple of the things that I would mention and I would go hard on and I would be like, yes, this is why you should live here, is the nightlife. I mean, the amount of opportunities you have to go downtown and go to any different business or bar or restaurant is just crazy. There are so many that cater to so many different types of people or so many different interests. I know one that I haven't been to, but I really want to go to is Max's Seaside Hideaway. I think that's what it's called. And it's like a tiki bar. They have like a couple different like areas for those who want to, be more club-like. And then they have another area where it's more of a restaurant bar. And I really want to go there. And so one thing I would stress would be the amount of nightlife that is available in Grand Rapids. I would also pitch how, in my opinion, I feel like Grand Rapids has been, almost like a staple for the state of Michigan. Like, even on the east side, we all know Grand Rapids. We all, at least in my opinion, or the people I knew, we thought Grand Rapids was like beer, 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 because it's like, they have a lot of breweries out here. And so another way I would kind of pitch moving to Grand Rapids and encourage somebody to move here would be just like the up and coming businesses. Like, we all know Grand Rapids is a great place, but I feel like Grand Rapids has tried to continue to grow, especially to cater to the market of young, fresh out of college adults with the nightlife and with the job opportunities that are arising. And that's one thing I would kind of promote if I were to pitch moving to Grand Rapids to a friend. Another thing I would pitch would be, just the closeness to the beach. Like, Grand Rapids downtown is maybe like 30, 45 minutes away from the beach. Allendale's a little closer. But still, I would make that drive to go to the beach. I love the beach. And I don't feel like you really get that in like the heart of Michigan, the middle of Michigan, or even on the east side. Like, where I'm from, if we wanted to go to the lake, we'd have to come to Lake Michigan. We'd have to drive all the way across the state. But for those in Grand Rapids, if you wanted to take like a quick weekend, go out to the beach. There you go. Not much planning involved except where are you going to stay. Just drive straight down the road. And so that's another thing that I would pitch to a friend when it comes to considering moving to Grand Rapids. all in all, I'm really excited to be moving into the house next year. I think it's going to be a great opportunity for myself and for my roommates to be able to kind of experience a little bit more and not be in such of a sheltered, calm place like Allendale. Although I'll miss it, I know it's going to be a great time living down there. So, yeah. See everyone in class.